Hello and welcome back to another painting video. Today we are going to be painting Nova Prime for Marvel Crisis Protocol. I really like this model, I'm really excited. I don't like the pose as much, but whatever. So we've already started by doing a kind of slap chop over him, but with just different shades of gray, because we want to keep it dark when we put the wash on him, because he is a dark blue color. So we got that. So let's start off with our flesh, and then we'll get his face with a pale flesh color from Vallejo. Let's get some water on our brush here. And let's get there and grab him. And it's just this part that's showing, really. You may also think his eyes, but his eyes are like glowing blue when he is in his uniform. So just get this in there. There we go, it's a pretty good coat. And then we can move on to the meat, which is his uniform. In his uniform, we're gonna use a Leviathan blue contrast paint. And hopefully it gives us the color that we want, that we're looking for. And then we'll do some highlights and stuff later to bring it up a little bit. So let's grab our blue, if we can find it. Boop, boop, boop. You know, you're like, you know, you've been doing this forever. You knew what colors you wanted to paint him. Why didn't you have it ready? You know, it's part of the suspense of the show, right? Of the channel. I wanna, oh, it's right here. Leviathan blue contrast. You know, I wanna show the whole painting process from start to finish to kind of give you guys an idea of how long things take. So you don't necessarily think, oh, I can't play this game because it's gonna take me so long to paint models, where I can show you that it doesn't really take a ton of time, and it can take as long as you want or as little time as you want. So let's get this blue on here and kind of see where it ends us up at. I'm already liking the coverage here. It is blue, but with black on it. Just avoiding those areas that we want to keep clear for other colors later. And then the whole boot. In there, being careful around our belt. Get that part there, top of the shoe or boot. This is probably my second favorite Marvel character after Captain America. I've liked him for a long time. I mean, probably since like the Annihilation storylines, and then the other Nova series, that the newer Nova is pretty cool too. I like him. So yeah, my third favorite Marvel character is Thor. we've already painted Thor a couple times. I didn't get the new Thor because he is a 6 cost, and I barely have room for the guys that I want to use in my stuff, and 6 points would just eat up so much more roster space for this game. So he's a little kind of overcosted for me. I don't know if he's good. He's probably good. Like, he's probably not overcosted. Like, he probably is appropriately balanced in costs for his abilities, but just for the game's sake, I don't think having someone that takes up that much spot is going to be worth it for me. Let's get up to there. Let's avoid those little booby bits because those are gold. I'm shaking because I haven't eaten at all this morning. I just wanted to get straight to painting at least one thing so that I had one thing done today. If you put too much contrast on, you can always pull it off with the brush there. Just get the coverage. It's a little awkward in this area here, but we got it. Just make sure, get the rest of it. Make sure we don't have any of the black showing. And I'm trying it this way because I learned with my Sigmar army, right? That's why we try different things when we paint armies, that you don't need to put contrast necessarily over white or like a light gray. You can put it over black and it will show up. And I think my dog is being bad downstairs, so this is really great for me. So there's the blue on him. I think what would benefit this now is probably a dry brush of a lighter blue, just to kind of poke out some of those high spots more. So let me see, how do we do this? What kind of blue do we use? We have a lot of blues. We want to be kind of close to the blue that he is, but light enough to kind of highlight areas. And let me see. I'm thinking this Prussian blue, because it is a dark blue. It's the darkest blue that I have anyway on here. We could also do a really light blue, like this deep sky blue, and just kind of, I think we're gonna do this. I think we're gonna go like deep sky blue. We might regret it, but this is the point of experimenting and trying things, and the whole thing of the whole point of the channel, right? So let's put a little bit on our palette here, and then we're gonna get a dry brush. Get like a brush here, and then we'll just get some on here, and we need to wipe most of it off. Also, it helps if the wash is dry, if the contrast that we put on here is dry, but you know, we can, okay, so we can see that it is not dry yet. So let's actually take a step back and let this dry before we go up in there, so we can move on to a different section. Right now, let's get the face to stage 2, and that will be Reikland Flesh Shade over the the facey bits. Just in here to add the shadows and the all that stuff in there. Like that. I think what we can do here is go to the little fire and stuff on him. No, because that will mess up probably when we start doing the dry brush. So we're gonna take that blue that we have, that deep sky blue, and we'll put it in his eyes. Just while we're here. Because that way when we paint the gold, it'll go over the, we'll be able to fix the overpaint on it. Just make sure that we get those eyes painted. Cool. So I would feel like that it's been enough time. Like, it's dry as heck here. You shouldn't have to wait this long for this to dry. So let's try just getting some light blue on the uniform here. I don't know how much you guys can see on the camera. You can see it a little bit. So we're just kind of, I don't know what to call it, like chalking this over the model to get that blue color to kind of pop. So there, hopefully that sells it a little bit more. And we can do some more stuff later. We can do some more like harder highlights to get that to pop even further. So now let's get some gold. And I usually don't use gold, I usually use brass, but I think for him, we're gonna actually use gold. So we have this bright gold color. I haven't used it in forever. I do have a speed paint gold, but it's not quite the bright like royal gold that we want for Nova. All right, so let's see if we can get this. Okay. And we got this. Get our brush, load it up with our paint here. And let's start down here. This is definitely going to need multiple coats. This is a very thin gold paint. And we could also do our normal process for golds and then just do this over the top of it. That might also work. But we're just trying it this way first. other leg. Just trying to be really careful and aware of all the edges and the borders of these pieces because I want it to look clean. It's one thing when you paint characters that you care about versus ones that you don't really. And plus this is a game where you can spend the time on characters to paint because it is such a low model count game. It's 10 models. Every list is 10 models. There's no points or anything like that. It's just you bring 10 guys to a field and then you get a mission that has the point cost, and then you deploy from your 10 to fill that mission out. Now we have made a couple mistakes. We have painted onto the blue in some spots, so we'll have to maybe go back and fix those. Now we get his belt. I think this might be gold on his back too. I don't think it's red. I do have a Marvel Legends action figure of him that I could check to see where some colors go if I'm not sure. You can also look online, or you can also wing it. You can do whatever you want. Remember, like I always say, there's no right way or wrong way to paint a character. If you want to paint him in a different color scheme that you want, go for it. There's no rules against that. There's no one's telling you what to do. I painted Nova on this channel a long time ago. It was a 3D print Nova I was going to use him as a proxy for Captain Marvel. But now that we have an actual Nova, I don't have to use the proxy anymore. So that is cool. Got in there. Mistakes happen. It's okay. Can all be fixed. Just bracing him on the table really quick while I get into there, just so my shakiness doesn't mess anything up. Then we get to the wrist here. begin just pinning him on my table here. I also have these handles. I could use the handle, I guess. That'll help me stabilize the model a lot more too. For here, we can get the little orb. We're trying to avoid them, but it's fine. We're painting it with a white paint over the top, so it should be fine. I want to get that little bit there. And see how the paint kind of tears if you mess with it while it's wet still. So you're just going to be a little more careful. It's a little thick and chunky. Now, that's too thin. And we get the top here. And now the helmet. This one's definitely going to need a few coats because you can see all the streaks in there. We do not want that. And just being careful around these eyes here. We can get the nose bridge and all that stuff because we're painting it red. Got these little flyers on this brush and trying to be careful of those hitting parts of the model that I do not want the gold on. Clean the brush a little bit here. Here, it's a little close with this arm, so that sucks for us. Just be careful, and we got it. And then we can even come in from the side there, get the rest of that helmet. Okay, and now we can go through and get kind of a second coat on the areas that we need it, where it's a little streaky, anything like that that we don't want on our final paint job. And like I say, like if you don't necessarily see it, you don't really have to fix it if you don't want to. I think the belt is looking decent. I think it's mostly the helmet that we're gonna have to refine a bit. Let's just clean that up. Oops. And that sucks. You don't want it chunky like this. You want it smooth on there. You don't want it streaky and all that. So just come in get those areas where you see those streaks to clean it up. Then on the helmet probably needs more time to dry, if I'm being honest. While that's drying, I'm going to look at my action figure and see what color the star on the back is. I think it's gold. If I can find him, he's in here somewhere. Oh, here he is. He's right here in the front. It's red. Who would have thought? Oh no, it's not. It's gold. I'm wrong. It's gold. Cool. Also, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna check on my dog. She's being bad. Evie. What are you doing, Mama? What are you doing down there? She's sitting at the bottom of the stairs like, I didn't do nothing, Papa. I'm a good girl. I don't believe that for a second. So we're gonna put some more gold down on our palette here. Ooh, this is dry. And we're gonna get this Nova star on the back here. Oof. This one's gonna be a little challenging here. There we go. There we go. See if we can clean this up while we're here. And same thing with our helmet. Get that as smooth. Smooth as we can here. I've also heard really good things about the Pro Acryl range of paints. I'll probably be checking those out. I wonder how their metallics are. If you know, let me know if their metallics are better than this, because, well, this isn't great anyway, but like how smooth it goes on, all that kind of stuff, because I'm tired of fighting with these all the time. Okay, so now we gotta do some cleanup. And how we're gonna do it is we're gonna take this dark blue-gray and we're gonna go into those areas where we've touched the silver, I mean not the silver, the gold too, and just clean those up with a line. So let's get in there. These little bristles are getting in the way. And then we can clean that out with, it's still a little wet. That's the best method. If you make a mistake, clean it right away, because it'll still be wet and you'll be able to do something about it. So we just got this blue-gray here. We're just going in and hitting those areas where we have made mistakes. And just cleaning up those edges. and it's close enough to where you don't have to do anything to it. But if you wanted to, you could go back through with that contrast paint and fix it. So we're just looking for those areas right now. There's one right here, the top. And there we go. That is how we clean that up. I'm also going to hit that just to get it to look a little bit more poppin'. And then we want to wash the gold, and I'm going to use a sepia wash on it, a seraphim sepia, to get it to kind of have like a tinge to it. You could also use like an Agrax Earthshade, like a brown, if you wanted to, but I think this will probably look better. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just making, yeah, see, it'll make it a little bit more gold, like vibrant-y orange color. You could also use an orange wash if you wanted to, if you really wanted to give it a shot. The Fuegan orange wash was what I was considering, but this seems to be working. Also, there's cat hair on my brush, like there is, like, you know how you have cat hair on your brush. And let's get all of that. And it's okay if it goes onto the blue because you won't really be able to see it. In the end. So just get that, the little wrist guard. Make sure you get the undersides there. I'm delaying the chest just because I did paint it recently, so just because it's still drying possibly. So let's go here, here, and then you can hit the chest. And then we gotta get the helmet here. Like that. There we go. Now while that is drying, we want to hit the little fire and stuff on here. So we're gonna take some Telesar blue, and we're gonna use Ethermatic blue is gonna be our other blue, but for now we're gonna take our Telesar blue and we're gonna put it towards the bottom of this. And we'll do the same here towards the end. We're just gonna put a little bit in there, not a ton. And then we're going to switch to Ethermatic blue for it to get lighter. So we'll get our brush filled up here. We'll start from the bottom here, kind of bring it up, mixing it, kind of blending it together as we go up through the model. Make sure you wipe your brush off before you stick it back into the pot, because you don't want to mix these colors together. Just kind of play with the colors, mix them together, hit them in different areas. You can do the same thing for here. Just pull from there, bring it towards the hand. Okay, and then when we had made a little mistake here, we can hit the white on there and pull that off. And then we can take a little bit more, we'll put it here, pretty thick. And then we're gonna take white, a white paint, and then we're gonna pull that down into the shade. So just kind of grab it, get the cat hair out of it. And we want it to be like bright at the top, right? The brightest at the source. And same thing here, we're just gonna pull that and get a little bit more weight in here. Like that. Get some pure white. Get like the sections there. And then while we have that white on our palette, we're going to take it and we are going to put it into the chest here, the chest here. Well, we got to get this wash out first. Let's just, it's not, the white wasn't good enough. Have to get some more paint on there. This brush might be toast. So we want white in all these circles. And then we also want white on the little orbs. This one is kind of covered, so that's fine. And while we're here, we can just kind of play with this a little bit. Let me see my other size 0 brush and see how that looks. Ooh, not great either. So now we're going to go to, did I miss something? Oh, I did miss something. So I'm gonna get this, I have some gold still here. We can get the little spot we missed it there. And then we will take our scarlet and this is for the little symbol on his helmet. So pardon me while I get really close in here. We want to use the side of our brush as much as possible here to avoid any weird spill over or cross-contamination. So we got it. Looks like we got it on. Now we can go back to our deep sky blue. I'm gonna do just a little teeny bit of like edge highlighting or like strong highlighting in some areas just to pop it out a little bit more. So I think we're gonna go here. Like that. Just a little bit of extra highlights here and there. And they can be scratchy, they can be big, they can be whatever you want them to be. But just put a little bit extra on him. They don't have to be the same on every spot. Give them like a little bit of a pop here and there. Just a little bit. Just to help bring that blue forward a little bit more too. Like to sell that this is blue. And then we will take our Ethermatic blue again. And we can put it on our brush, and then we want it kind of off our brush when we do this, and we're just gonna put it into the glowies, the glowing chest. We want I can make that brighter because it wasn't bright enough to hit the glowies on there. Same thing here, just mostly white, but with a little glow on it. And then we can try this. Like that. And then we'll just put, since we're being a little lazy, let's put a little dot of white in the middle. Go back to our gray here because we did hit outside of it. Just hitting that. Just gotta keep fiddling with it. Make sure it is a circle. Like that. We can take some more of this and then just put that there. And I think that is how we paint Nova for Marvel Crisis Protocol. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.